What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I hope you're all doing good. After a brief hiatus, I am back to bring one last spicy feature before we enter a new season. So what better than to feature one of the lowest ranked Pokemon in the Great League? That Pokemon is Shadow Cacturne, ranked a whopping 734th out of 774 Pokemon in the Great League. This thing is incredibly hard to use, but the damage it outputs is pretty insane. The IVs on the one we're using are 4, 14, 13. It's a rank 99, and the moveset we're going with is Poison Jab, Dark Pulse, and Grass Knot. Other than its glassiness, I would say the moveset is what's holding this Pokemon back. We've got a fast move that we're not getting stabbed from, and it does charge energy quite slowly. And we don't actually have a bait move either. Do have access to Sucker Punch as the fast move, which is a dark type of move, but it's not particularly great. So we're just going with the recommended Poison Jab. So into the battles we go. We've got Politoed against the Toxicroak on the lead. So this is a fairly decent matchup for the Politoed. Counters are going to be adding up eventually, but we're just going to be able to out spam them, and by the time one of them connects, it's probably going to be taking them out with that mud shot damage adding up. So we've got both the shields out of them now, and we'd already built up to 2 weather balls expecting that they would shield up the Toxicroak. So now we're going to be taking them out with the weather ball, as Toxicroak is pretty squishy, and they're going to come in with Galarian Stunfisk and farm us down. So this has worked out quite nicely for us. We've got to watch out for that Earthquake, so we make a catch into Cacturne, really hoping this is the Earthquake. It's still going to do a lot of damage. Look at that, we do catch perfectly, and now we're just going to build up to a Grass Knot, and they actually make the swap into Azumarill, so we're going to see how much damage a Grass Knot does to Azu. Oh my, completely one-shots. Get out of it, Azu. And they just back out. Oh my, that was complete ponage. Have you ever seen an Azumarill get one-shot by a Grass Knot? Well, now you have. So into the next one we go. We've got another pretty decent lead for the Politoed with that Alolan Marowak there. And we're going to throw the first Weather Ball, which will be doing massive damage to them. Probably won't be taking them out, but does like probably 3/4 of the health there. So let's see what they want to throw. Expecting they will go straight for a Shadow Bone. So we do decide to shield it up just to make the matchup quite comfortable. We're going to be able to farm up a lot more energy before we take this thing out. Do they want to commit another shield so they can do some damage to us? They do. So now we're just going to go for the Quickfire Weather Ball, and they anticipated that and really cleverly swapped into Superior, which is a shame for us. We're going to make a swap into Cacturne now and do some heavy Poison Jab damage. Now, we've got a big call to make here, whether this is an aerial ace. We don't want to give up that second shield, but it is aerial ace, and it does so much damage to us, even though it's non-stab, and it's not a good move. Cacturne is literally made of brass. So obviously we're going to come back in with the Registeel now, and we're going to go for a hard farm down with the lock-ons and resist all the moves that they can possibly throw at us. They do go for a Leaf Tornado, and it doesn't debuff us, which is really, really nice. We aren't forced to swap out if it is a good matchup. They come back in with the Marowak, kind of expected. We can definitely tank a move from them. They actually go for the Shadow Bone, which is quite interesting. We make a swap out into Politoed, see if we can actually get some extra farm on them. They make an instant swap to the Wigglytuff, which isn't too bad because we're going to be able to do some nice neutral damage against them. We're not going to quite make it to a third Weather Ball, so we are forced to just throw the second one, and then we're going to go down to that Snuck In Charm, come back in with the Registeel, and we need to worry about the Marowak getting to another move at this point. So we go for the Zap Cannon, that is the move, and then we're going to go for a hard farm down once again with the lock-ons. At this point we've debuffed them, and we're going to be resisting the Play Rough or an Ice Beam, so it's not going to do enough to take us out. Now look at this, it's getting really tight. Oh, and they try and snipe us with the Marowak, and we were wise to it, so we throw the Zap Cannon as they make that swap. Can we farm down the Wigglytuff? We can, so the big tin can taking the win, and the Cacturne doing absolutely nothing but getting eaten by its fellow grass type. So we go into the next match. Let's hope that the Cacturne can see some more play in this one. Got a pretty decent lead once again with the Azumarill, as we do have Earthquake, which is a legacy move. We did use the Elite TM to get that a few seasons back, and we land a devastating Earthquake, which puts the Azu into the yellow, and now we expect them to hit us with a Play Rough, which in kind does the same sort of damage to us. And now we're just going to be able to outpace them to another Earthquake, expecting they'll probably commit a shield to this, which is absolutely fine. It's going to allow us to farm down with the Cacturne, and we did CMP Tire, or they just didn't hit their move, so that's absolutely perfect for us. Now we're going to come in with that Cacturne, like I said, get up a nice energy lead, and let's see what they want to bring in. They actually bring in Scrafty, so this is the worst thing we want to see. We've got a counter user in the back for our 2 things, weak to fire, and please let this go. It does so much damage. Look how much a Grass Knot does. That's neutral damage to tanky Scrafty, and it absolutely devastated it. And now they bring in a Jirachi, so we're just going to go for that Dark Pulse, which is definitely going to get the last shield out of them. Then the Registeel's going to clear up, but no, they no-shield it, and it one-shots Jirachi. So we just swept with the Cacturne. And have you ever seen such a glorious sight than that Grass Knot damage on Scrafty and then sweeping the Jirachi as well? That was one of my favourite ends to a battle ever. So let's go into the next one. Deoxys on the lead, so this time a bit more of a sticky lead. It's not going to be suffering much from our spammy weather balls because it is such a tank, plus it has access to the Thunderbolt, which will be taking us out. They go for a Psycho Boost, which is more than fine because it forces them to swap out. And now we're going to bring in the Registeel against the Wally that's come in. So they're going to get to an Earthquake before we have a chance to debuff them. So we choose to actually give up a second shield, as we really could do with winning swap. We do not want to see the Deoxys with the Cacturne. So we go for the Zap Cannon. No doubt they're going to commit a shield, which they do. But we have now debuffed them. And an Earthquake won't be threatening us as much as it would have done. To be fair, it still wouldn't have taken us out. But this isn't even going to put us into the red, as you can see. And now they are going to be forced to go for another Earthquake. So we go for another Zap Cannon. And they do actually let it go through. So with one swap, which is perfect. And let's see if they probably bring in the Deoxys, I imagine, to counter us down. But they actually come in with Obstagoon, so we stopped the recording because there's absolutely no way we're going to win that. 2 counter users in the back for our 2 things weak to fighting, so that didn't work out at all. Sorry for the abrupt ending there. So we go into the next one, and it is Jellicent on the lead. So another pretty decent lead for us because they do have Bubble as the fast move as well. So we land another Earthquake on the unsuspecting Jellyfish, which no doubt is going to hit us with a Shadow Ball, and we decide to let it go through as well. And hoping we can just beat them to another move. We're actually just going to go for a Weather Ball here. It might be enough to take out the Jellicent from this range, and they do decide to commit a shield, which is absolutely perfect for us. We're actually going to get to another Weather Ball, so expecting them to let this go through, but they do commit another shield, so that is more than fine with us. Then they reveal their counter user, so this is working out absolutely beautiful because we do not want to see Scrafty with the Cacturne, or maybe we do because we saw how much that Grass Knot did to it. So maybe it just wants to see everything with no shields. But anyway, we're going to go for the Focus Blast and take out the Scrafty anyway, and hope that that Cacturne likes to see what's in the back. They come back in with a Jellicent, and we make an instant swap into the Cacturne. Even though this likely is a Shadow Ball and we will be resisting it, it will do so much damage. It will easily put us down into the yellow, as you've seen. This thing cannot take a hit at all. And what is it in the back? It's Ninetales, so it's a Charm one as well, I believe, because it did a lot of damage to us. Go for that Grass Knot, and once again, absolutely smacking the opponent. That is just crazy neutral damage. Grass Knot isn't even a nuke move. It's a decent move, but to do that much damage to something tanky like Ninetales, that's absolutely nuts. Can you imagine this thing with a decent grass type fast move like Bullet Seed or something like that? It could be quite scary, but it will forever be held back by its glassiness. So into the next one, we actually had Swampert on the lead for the Politoed, pretty decent, and they made a swap into Hypno after they got a shield out of us. So we're going to bring in the Cacturne because we are double resisting those confusions, so we are able to get to a Dark Pulse before they get to a move, and they let it go through, which is fine. They're going to bring back in that Swampert now, and they're going to be forced to throw some energy before we get to a Grass Knot. Hydro Cannon will probably take us out, to be fair, but they do go for the Sludge Wave and waste all their energy, which is absolutely perfect for us. So we're going to come back in with that Politoed now and go for the Weather Ball spam, as we have got some residual energy left over from that first meeting. And then we're able to get to another one here. So let's see if they want to commit 2 shields. They actually do commit both their shields, but we really need to take out the Swampert. They make a really nice catch into their Stunfisk. Didn't see if it was Galarian. Either way, it's going to be super effective, so we do a nice amount of damage to them. But this thing does beat both Politoed and Registeel, so what we do is we make a catch out onto the Registeel when they go for that discharge, as we counted up the 5 Thunder Shocks it was for the discharge. And with that, we just forced them to throw a neutral move rather than the super effective Mud Bomb, which is now incoming. Still only does a little chunk of damage to the tanky Registeel, and we're going to be able to now take out the Pancake with a Focus Blast. And we should be looking rosy from this point onwards. We've got the Swampert in the back, but we do still have a shield on our Politoed. And what we're going to do is actually shield this up, which is going to then force them to throw the rest of their energy. Otherwise, we're going to get to the Focus Blast. And instead, they try and overfarm. So now we're going to smack the Swampert out of the game. And we take the win once again with the Tin Can. And we're greeted with nothing but darkness as a response to that win. Rolling on into the next one against Aerial SN. So we've got a really nice lead with the Talonflame. We're going to be able to go absolutely mad with a Weather Ball. I don't think one Weather Ball will take them out. We was kind of anticipating a swap, but unfortunately they did catch us with the Azu coming in, and they caught the Weather Ball. But we're going to be able to come in with Cacturne now, and we're going to be able to do a lot of damage with that Poison Jab fast move. Even though we're not getting stabbed from it, you can see how much it's tearing into the Azumarill. And I was thinking at this point, are we going to be able to farm them down the whole way before they get to another Ice Beam? And we do. That little Weather Ball chip was actually just enough for us to be able to farm them down the whole way. So now we're completely loaded for whatever comes in, and it is the Talonflame as expected, as this will be doing super effective to us with that fire type in. But we do have back-to-back Dark Pulses ready to go. They commit one shield. Are they going to respect the second one? They don't, and it does so much damage once again, putting the neutral Pokemon down into the red. And we decide to shield this up, which is very interesting, and we go for a Weather Ball, quick swap into the Politoed. Didn't actually go for it, farmed up a little bit more because we did it in the middle of their Incinerate, so he was able to get through some more mud shots. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to get off a move now, which is going to be the Brave Bird, of course. But the thing that is most threatening our Registeel and Cacturne is now going to be out of the picture. Going to come in with the Cacturne, actually. So this is pretty decent. We're going to go for we're going to go for a Dark Pulse, but they're obviously going to take us out with the Mirror Shot. Not that it matters. You've ruined the Cacturne's fun, but we're just going to destroy you with a Focus Blast. You should probably just back out and save us some time. No, go for a Mirror Shot, because that's really going to do a lot, isn't it, you fucking idiots? Just bloody quit the battle, right? I'm sick of it. You know it's over, I know it's over, but you just wanted to eat that Focus Blast, didn't you? So, fair enough. Into the next one we go. And let's see what we got on the lead for the Politoed once again. It's a Stunfisk again, so pulling up all loads of delicious leads in this one. And we're going to go for the potential of an Earthquake, but we're just going to go for the Weather Ball. Are they going to commit a shield to this, thinking it's the Earthquake? No, they let it go through, so they got very, very big nuts. That's really nicely played by them. Have we got the big nuts? We do. We, in kind, have big nuts. So we let the Rock Slide go through, and now we're going to go for another Weather Ball, which is either going to take them out or get the shield, and it does get the shield, which is absolutely fine, because we're just going to be able to outpace the Bear Trap. So we're just going to build up as much as we can. I'm going to go for another 5. As we know, it's 5 mud shots for the Rock Slide, and we are going to win CMP tie. So let's see if they let it go through. Expecting them to let it go through, which they do. And now they come in with Swampert. So that is absolutely perfect for us as well, because we're going to be able to do some more chip to them with another Weather Ball. And that does, look at that, half health to the Swampert. Swampert isn't particularly tanky, but Weather Ball should be quite a low damage move. But on Politoed, it's so spammy. Swap into the Cacturne before they can even get off their energy against the Politoed and soak up that Hydro Cannon, which does over half health. That's just so pathetic. Oh, Cacturne, you are actually Frau, aren't you? So we're coming now with the Registeel, and this is actually looking really bleak now, because obviously they're going to outpace us to 2 moves. We're probably going to have to let this first one go through, but then are we actually going to be able to survive it to get to another move? We're probably not. So we're going to have to shield this up, right? Yeah. I was worried there. We weren't going to shield it up. So we go for that Zap Cannon. It's going to be debuffing them, which is nice, but I don't think we've got any energy. Oh, we're going to be able to get up to something with the Politoed. We get to that Weather Ball. The debuff on the Incinerate's definitely helping us out. Taking out the Talonflame. They've still got Swampert, and we actually take the win. I was actually thinking that was going to be a defeat there, and I spoke too soon. Ye have little faith. Into the next one we go. It's Deoxys Defense on the lead, so we've seen this already. It's pretty bad for the Politoed, because with the counters and a Thunderbolt, it will be taking us out. So we're going to go for the potential of an Earthquake. They don't shield it up, because even an Earthquake won't take out the tanky Deoxys. And they did sneak for a counter whilst we got off the second Weather Ball, which is pretty bleak. Not that it matters anyway. Any move by them is going to put us down quite low, other than a Rock Slide. And we shield the Rock Slide up, so that's really, really bad for us. Luckily, we are going to put the pressure on them to commit a shield themselves with this Weather Ball, which they do because they want to win the swap. And we CMP tied. So that's perfect. We're going to let this go through now, I imagine. And it was Psycho Boost, so that's fine, because now they've actually lowered their attack. We're going to be able to bring in the Registeel and go for a nice lock-on farm down. We definitely want to bring in that Cacturne, because even with debuffed counters, it's still going to be devastating the thing. So we go for the lock-on farm down, and let's see what they want to bring in. Please don't be another counter user. It's not, it's an Umbreon. So we're going to go for that Focus Blast now, which is going to do so much damage to the Umbreon. Won't KO, and they do commit their shield, which is absolutely fine with us. And we do have the Cacturne there that can deal with the Umbreon. I'm wondering what they've got in the back, because they obviously don't want to see that with the Registeel, because this isn't the best matchup for Umbreon. So thinking that there could be something weak to Registeel as well, potentially in Azumarill. So we go for that Focus Blast, puts them down into the yellow. We're never going to be able to lock on farm them down. So I imagine after they've wasted some energy, we're probably going to make a swap into the Cacturne. No, we are actually going to stay in. No, we do eventually make it. I don't know if we were trying to catch or whatnot there, but we're definitely going to let this go, whatever it is. It is the last result, so it does so much damage to us as well. But they do have another Azumarill in the back, so it's going to be a repeat of last time. Going for that Grass Knot, even less damage done, and it still takes out the fat blue fairy. Get out of here, and in comes Umbreon to be farmed down by the Cactus Jack. Once again, taking the win. What an absolutely delightful fellow you are, scaring off all the crows in my field, and then destroying all the Azumarills in Great League. Thank you very much. So we go into the next one, and we had another decent lead with Galarian Stunfisk for the Politoed. They made a swap out into Azumarill, so of course we're going to come into the Cacturne, and at this point we're not going to be able to farm them down. We're going to have to commit 2 shields if that's the case, so we're just going to go for the Grass Knot before they get to a second Ice Beam, and now we're happy to commit our second shield and just farm them down all the way, and we'll have loaded energy to go against whatever they want to come in with. So easily going to be able to Poison Jab down the Azumarill before they get to another move. See if they want to come in with that Stunfisk or maybe something else. If it's the Stunfisk, we're just going to go straight for a Grass Knot against them. I'm not actually sure. I think Grass Knot and Dark Pulse are the same damage, but I'm not 100% sure. In my mind, I'm thinking Grass Knot does maybe 5 more damage, so that's probably why we're going for it here. So it gets them well into the yellow, and now we're forcing the second shield from them. And hopefully we put ourselves in a winning position now, having the alignment with the Politoed against the Stunfisk. And we've got that Registeel still in the back. So we make the swap in, well, we don't make the swap, but they made a swap into Trevenant. And this is something that we don't really want to see, but considering Trevenant is so glassy and the Registeel can just take so much damage, we hopefully should be able to pull something out. So we're going to go for the Zap Cannon now. Saying that, now they got through that Shadow Ball, they only need to get to another one. So this is looking pretty bleak, but well, we're not going to be able to get up to a Focus Blast before they get to another Shadow Ball. But they actually just go Seed Bomb, so that's a really bad call by them. We're now going to be able to get up to that Focus Blast, even though it's double resisted, is going to do a lot of damage to Trevenant, as Trevenant is so squishy in Great League. And now we've got that Weather Ball stored on the Politoed. So got a little bit sticky there with the Trevenant, but unfortunately it is so glassy and it wasn't able to deal with the Registeel, even though we were doing not very effective to them. And it just shows Registeel was basically a cheat code, isn't it? Such a joke with that Zap Cannon. And Cacturne needs all the help it can get, so that's why we're using it. So into the next one, not a very good lead. Well, it wasn't the worst lead, it was actually quite neutral. It was the Umbreon. They would have won it because they're just so tanky. But I think I saw this as an opportunity to try and bait out a potential counter user, and that is what we did. We swapped into the Registeel and we got out the Deoxys, which is really, really good. Because as I said before, the Cacturne doesn't want to see anything like Charm or counter, is just going to take it out in about 5 fast moves. So in this case, we could at least get this thing out there, go for these Zap Cannons and debuff it, and it is going to struggle to take us out without committing all of its shields, because it's not doing stab with the counters. We've debuffed it twice, and they're only able to throw things like Rock Slide, which are completely resisted. Even another one from here is not going to take us out, so they're probably going to actually lose Switch unless they want to give up both their shields, because we're now going to get to that Focus Blast. And once again, Registeel just showing it is just so OP. It is a pretty decent matchup against the Deoxys. Don't even see it as a losing matchup, to be honest with you. So now they come in with Umbreon, and it's so tanky, it's not even getting snarled down before it can get to another Focus Blast against the Umbreon. Completely taking the piss right now, Registeel. I swear to God, this was not supposed to be a Registeel feature video. I'm sure you're sick of seeing it. So coming now with the Cacturne, we're going to be able to eat a foul play, and even that nearly did half our health. It doesn't even hit hard, Umbreon. You're pathetic, Cacturne. I'm sorry, not really. Now they go for a Psychic, which is even worse. Going to let that one go through because it's double resisted, but unfortunately they're going to get to another move. So we're going to shield up as well. We're going to commit both our shields. And they've just done they threw so much energy there. That was insane. How did they have that much stored? So now we're finally going to take them out of a Grass Knot. And now they come with the Azu again. So we've seen this again. Do you ever get tired of seeing it? Goodbye, Azu. Get out. They back out. Absolutely disgusted with that. I'm having all sorts of fun in this one. Anyways, moving on into the next battle, and we've got Walrein on the lead. So this is a pretty mixed one. We're obviously resisting that Ice type, but they're resisting the Water type from us as well. So we're just going to go straight for the Earthquake. We can survive an Earthquake, so we let that go through. And now we're going to go for our own one, expecting them to let it go through as well. And they do let it go through. So we're both putting each other right into the red, and now we're going to outpace them to a Weather Ball. So we should hopefully get a shield out of them, but they do decide to let it go through. So we've won the swap quite comfortably, and now they bring in a Deoxys. So this is not what we want to see at all. The only option is to bring in the Registeel. That is why we've got the Registeel on the team. We just need something that can soak up all the counters and not get completely obliterated like the Cacturne. So we do shield up the Thunderbolt, as we're going to be able to debuff them, and obviously we do not want the Deoxys to get through to the Cacturne. So now we go for that Zap Cannon, and it does debuff them, of course. And now we're going to comfortably let the next Thunderbolt go through, as it's only going to tickle the Registeel. And I'm not really sure how we're going to play this now. We swap into Cacturne, try and farm them down, and they have another counter user in the back. So a second Rage Quit from the double counter user in the back there. We've got nowhere to go, and that is always the risk you run. So into the next one. Gliscor on the lead, and they were having a bad day, so they just back out straight away. And I never know what's going on with people when they do that. Are they just trying to get rid of their battles, they don't care, or were they genuinely pissed off? Probably was the latter. So into the next one, we've got Lucario on the lead, and this is something our backline really does not want to see. I wasn't sure whether we would actually survive a power-up punch and the ensuing counters, and we have to take this thing out. So I shielded up that power-up punch, but unfortunately we let through a counter right there, and that's going to be the difference. I think that extra counter is definitely going to stop us from getting up to a third Weather Ball if they commit both their shields to the Lucario, and then the Lucario is definitely going to sweep our back line. And we can see right there, another counter is going to take us out, so we're definitely not going to make it to the Weather Ball, so we just back out. What's the point? They're just going to completely crush Registeel and Cacturne with that boosted Lucario, and they would have had a lot of pleasure in doing it. So I'm sorry to deny you there, sir, but I can't be arsed with that shit. So we're going into the next one, and it's a wall rain on the lead. So we've seen this before. We're just going to go straight for that earthquake as we did in the previous matchup, and they let it go through as they did in the previous one. So at this point, we actually have the opportunity to build up a lot of energy and win this matchup quite comfortably. So we're going to commit our shield, and then imagine we're going to look to farm up a bit more. Oh, I'm surprised we didn't farm up a lot more than that, because we're at no risk of them hitting us with another earthquake, and they do commit a shield, which is really, really surprising, because now they're going to be forced to throw another one, and they're surely not that close to an earthquake. They obviously really want to land that on the Politoad. So at this range, I think we could probably let it go through, and we do call it's an icicle spear, so that's a massive call. And now we're going to make the swap out into Registeel once we built up some more energy with the Politoad. And the tin can probably take 3 foul plays. They go for return. What the hell? What the hell? I don't even remember this battle. I cannot believe they went for return there. So that makes absolutely no sense unless they've only got one charge move, which I can't imagine is the case. We hit them with the Zap Cannon and they let it go through, and that gets them deep into the red. And at this point, because we debuffed them, it doesn't matter. They're going for return. I was going to say we can survive a foul play, but you know, we're definitely going to survive an even non-debuffed return. So in comes the next Pokemon. I didn't see what it was. We go straight for the Zap Cannon to get that debuff, even if it's resisted. It's a Trevenant anyway, so we make instant swap out into the Cacturne, and then they come in with the Wally in for an Icicle Spear, forcing the last shield from us. But it doesn't matter, because Cacturne's going to get up to that Dark Pulse, and he's going to be taking out the Slim Trevi, and another win for the Cacturne in the bag. But all the groundwork put in by the tanks of Great League. So into the last battle of the video, and I just wanted to show you guys this. Some lag on the other side of things for once, and how bad it is, how much the community's sick of it. Look, my opponent can't get through any moves, and he thinks, what is the point of this game? I'm going to quit and stop wasting my time on something that doesn't even work half the time. And that's how I have been feeling in recent weeks. 10 seasons in, and we still have game-breaking lag every other battle. Isn't it really, really great for this game? Anyway, looking at some nice shinies that I caught whilst I was in Amsterdam. Part of the reason it took me so long to get this video up, as you can imagine. But anyway, thank you so much for checking it out. Please smash the like button, and I'll catch you in the next one in a brand new season. Stay angry, trainers.